Nutrients. We all need them.
Great vegetables.
It doesn't matter if you're on a journey to fight God, or if you're just weird. At the end of the day, there will be moments where you will succumb to the delicious temptation of umbilical cord? Oh man, I can already tell I'm going to hate this. The golden question is, what counts as a food item? Considering that in most of these games you don't really eat, I ask that you forgive me in my assessment. But in my book, if you put something inside your mouth while you are visibly chewing on it, it will lead me to believe that you are, in fact, eating. There might be one situation where this isn't necessarily the case, but I will talk about it when I get there. I think you know what I am referring to. Anyway, let's not waste any more time, and let us start with the feast. I wasn't joking when I said we're gonna have a feast, by the way. The cool thing about Demon Souls is that you start off with food right away. To maximize our food consumption, I decided to go with the night, and my gift was the bright water. If you are following this build, you will have 4 things to put in your mouth. The water is gonna be there to wash it all down. Enjoy. Dark Souls. Prepare to starve. I mean, not really. We have a lot of food options, but all of them are available later in the game. For instance, you can just go to the DLC and eat Elizabeth. That said, don't forget to cook her beforehand. But again, this takes too much work, so instead we are gonna be doing some gardening.
Once you start something, you gotta see it through to the end.
Wrong game, sorry, wrong game. Let's disregard that. In all seriousness, we have to make our way over to Darkroot Garden. The first major item we want is unfortunately not edible, but I would argue it's more important than anything that goes into your mouth. Please, take your mind out of the gutter. Remember, this is not Dark Souls 2. Of course I'm talking about the Crest Shield. Look man, if you think I will do a single run without this thing, you are sorely mistaken. Next up, you just want to farm the plant enemies. I will be the first to admit that I dislike RNG based drops. Mainly because, well, in my opinion, consistency is king. Either way, it shouldn't take too long with these guys. The items we are after are the moss clumps. I think any of them is fair game and they all have a relatively decent chance to drop. I got lucky and I got it on my first try, but honestly it shouldn't take too long either way. With Dark Souls 2 we are continuing the trend of eating only grass. This time around we are aiming for the green blossom item. I want to say that I don't really like the swordsman class, I almost never pick it, but if there is a situation where this class is excellent at something, please let me know cause I'm actually very curious. But anyway, the reason I am picking it is because it has the most amount of endurance. And honestly that's pretty much the only stat I worry about for this run, considering that we are not gonna be doing any sort of fighting, we're just gonna be sprinting. Now okay, I will be honest, I maybe got clowned on here. But it's fine, I promise. If you want to do it in a more safe way, if you have a firebomb, you could always just blow up the door from inside. Anyway, you can find the green blossom after you drop down here, and with that, your hunger has been cured. And now it's time for everyone's favorite PowerPoint presentation, Bloodborne. So here's the situation with this game. I think we are all aware of the infamous eat the umbilical cord meme, but you don't actually eat that thing. I mean, okay, you could argue that by crushing it you are absorbing the nutrients that it provides, and thus it can be considered eating. But hey, why worry about this thing when we can just get an actual food item elsewhere? I mean, if you want the cord that badly, all you have to do is beat Gascoigne, go down to the blood-starved beast, beat that guy as well, and then go back up the cathedral ward, and from here you want to do the jump puzzle that will lead you to the old workshop. It's not too bad per se, but it's platforming. I'm gonna be honest, there is only one platformer I really like, and it's called Mega Man. If you want me to lose my sanity, recommend me some platformers. Thank you. But back to our regularly scheduled beast hunting activities. The item we are looking for is the beast blood pellet. Thankfully it's much easier than getting an umbilical cord. Just go to Old Yarnum and you can pick it up right before the Bloodstarved beast fight. Enjoy! Well, it's time for Dark Souls 3, and once again we are gonna be having a carnivore dinner. The quickest item we can obtain is, unfortunately, the buck pellet. I really don't want to do this, but it is what it is. But then again, if this is where I draw the line, I have to ask myself the question, where have I been during the Bloodborne section? But anyway, I was extremely basic when making my character. Mercenary for the Twin Blades, Life Ring for the survivability. Take out Gundyr, do the Firelink jump for the Flask Shard and the Silver Serpent Ring. Go to the High Wall, grab the Gold Pine Resin, and now you just want to rush to Vort and take him out as well. The Undead Settlement is a pretty big zone, but we're gonna skip most of it and run to the Road of Sacrifices. Whenever I am making a magic focused character in Dark Souls 3, I usually always do this because it allows me to meet up with Orbeck early on. But this time we are not here for him. Instead, we just want the blue buck pellet nearby. The Tarnished has the best diet in the From Software catalog, and it's not even close. I mean, you have all sorts of meats, vegetables, eggs, and grapes. Don't tell me what they are made of. But here's the problem. You cannot eat most of these. Instead, you just use them for crafting. That said, there is one thing we can actually eat very early on. So early in fact that you can do it while within Limgrave. No, Melina, I am not talking about you. And no, I am not talking about Torrent either. But we do need him in order to shorten the time it takes for us to get to the destined meat. If you're a World of Warcraft player, the word exalted might make your skin crawl, but I am not sorry. We have to go to the camp in Stormhill and pick up the exalted flesh. I hope that brought back memories of reputation grinding for some of you. Again, I am not sorry. But here comes a new challenger. I love Sekiro, and while it is not the same type of game as these other 6, I have fun lumping it together with them. Much like Elden Ring, Sekiro has a lot of really good food options. But again, I know I said this so many times, but I will keep saying it. They are only available later in the game. With the exception of the pellet, you get this thing in the attic of the house where Kuro is kept in. So pretty much right at the beginning. Thankfully it's very easy to get in there. Wait, what? Sorry about that, let's try it again. Much better this time around. With all that said and done, I believe it is time to see how much time each and every single one of them has taken. On last place, I believe it may come as no surprise, we have Bloodborne, with 20 minutes and 43 seconds. Right after that, we have Dark Souls 3, with 15 minutes and 29 seconds. Dark Souls 2 takes flight with a 747, sitting comfortably at the number 5 spot. 4th place with a very close 7 minutes and 5 seconds time. We have Dark Souls 1. And just barely ahead of that, on 3rd place, we have Elden Ring with 6:47. The newcomer takes number 2, Sekiro, with a 1 minute 38 second time. And I think it was obvious from the get-go, Demon Souls is number 1. It took me 25 seconds to eat everything and open the menu to see my time. But I think it's fair if we just give it a 1 second time. Let's be honest, that's realistically how much time it's gonna take. But anyway, that just about wraps it up. I hope it was enjoyable for everyone, and I want to say thank you very much for watching. It means a lot to me, genuinely. In any case, thank you once again, and I will see you again, soon. Take care, everybody.
You may rest here too, if you like.